Hi P4s. For my students, right? If you get it wrong, please copy down everything I write for that question. If you're correct, whether or not you want to copy down what I write is up to you. And then if after I've gone through and you still do not understand, please note down the question so that we can go through during the next lesson. Let's look at question 1. Okay. This is a P3 topic, classification. Option number one says that group A has wings. Okay, this is wrong because frogs do not have wings, so this is out. Number 2 says has body covering. Okay, frogs is an amphibian, and amphibians, they all do not have outer covering, unlike other animal groups. Like for example, insects have exoskeleton, right? Birds have feather, mammals have hair. So most other animal groups, they have outer covering, but for frog, right, because it's an amphibian do not have outer body covering, so this is also wrong. Useful, cockroach is largely considered a pest lah, just like mosquito, so it's more of a harmful. Adult, yes, frog is the adult stage. Rooster is the male adult chicken. Okay, cockroach is the adult as well. The young of a cockroach would have been called a nymph. Okay, as for chick, yes, chick is the young of a chicken. Tadpole is the young of a frog. Grasshopper nymph is the young of a grasshopper. So this is the correct one. So it's number 4. Okay, let's look at the second question. Okay, based on the characteristic given, we can roughly guess their animal groups lah. Okay, X can fly, has 6 legs. Once you know that it has 6 legs, it is a very crucial information. This tells you that it's insect, because the special characteristic about insect is that they have 3 body parts and 6 legs. Y has feather. Yes, feather is a very important information. Only one animal group has feather, and that is the bird. Okay, all birds have feather. Okay, the last one, can fly, has feather also. So this is also a bird. Okay, so they say X and Z are birds. No, we know X is not. X is an insect, so this is out. Y and Z is bird. Okay, correct. X and Y, okay, is wrong. So only number 2 is correct. Okay. Okay, this one is an experiment question. So let me just repeat this again. In an experiment, right, all variables must be the same except for the variables tested. All this to make sure that it is a pair test. Or you do not need to have a lot of good knowledge to answer this type of experiment question. Every exam, they will definitely have this type of question. Every single exam. So since it will appear in every single exam, I suggest you work on this if you're not good at it. Because once you master this type of question, every exam you get additional marks just by answering this correct. So anyway, as I was saying, okay, I'm going to type it down. In an experiment, all variables okay, so variables are basically things in an experiment. So let's say, for example, the amount of water, the amount of light, okay, the type of fungi, the type of bacteria. Okay, these are all variables, okay, things that are in the experiment. So as I was saying, in an experiment, everything must be the same. The only thing that can be different is what you're going to test, okay, as well as your results. Your result is just for you to observe. So okay, please remember this. Now so let's see what they are testing. They are testing if the growth of the mushroom, so the growth of the mushroom is what you should observe because that's your result, are affected by the amount of light. So the amount of light is what you are testing, right? So as I was saying, the variables tested is what you need to change, right? Therefore the amount of light is what you are testing, therefore the amount of light should change as well. That means one must have light, one must have no light. Okay, so everything else must be the same, right? So we must make sure that everything must be the same except for the amount of light. So let's look at the options they give us. For A and B, right, they have a different amount of water, which is not what you want because you cannot change the amount of water. You can only change the amount of light. So this is wrong because like I say, amount of water is different, or it is supposed to be the same, it cannot be different. Okay, B and C. B and C is good, okay, because the amount of water is the same, which is what you want, because in an experiment everything else must be the same. And then one has light, one has no light. So this is good. Okay, so I repeat again, because all variables in this experiment is the same except for the amount of light, which is what you are testing. Okay, so let's just look at 3 and 4 as well, just in case. So C and D, again the amount of water is different, so you do not want that. Okay, and then for A and D, let's see, again the amount of water is different. Also all of them is facing the same issue. Okay, the amount of water must be the same because you are not testing the amount of water. Okay, this is the roots. Again, it is a P3 topic. It's also a P4 topic because every single year there will definitely be plants. Okay, so roots, they have a few functions. Okay, they does not make food for the plant. Make food for the plant is the job of the leaf. It holds the plant to the soil. Yes. Okay. Okay, I'll just put a tick. Okay. But this is a bit subjective. Subjective meaning it can be right or wrong. Why? Because water plants, they don't grow on soil, right? So actually water plants the roots of the water plants do not hold the plants to the soil. So B is a bit yes and no, but never mind, we'll just look at C and D first. Absorb food from the soil, definitely no. There is no food in the soil. Plants do not take in food, they make their own food. What is taken in from the soil? Okay, what is taken in from the soil is the minerals. Okay. The last one, to take in water from the plant, yes. Okay. So when you water plants, please do not go and water the leaf. You are supposed to water the soil, because when the water enters the soil, the roots will absorb the water from the soil. Okay, so definitely I must choose D, and then the only other one that's correct is B. So it's B and D lah. Okay, if there's a better answer than B, okay, then you choose D and something. Okay, but no choice. B and D is the best answer here. Okay, although like I say, B is a bit subjective. Okay, digestive system, a P4 topic. We learned this here. Let's see. Before we start, maybe we just write down all the parts. This is your mouth. Okay, B is your stomach. Okay, we don't label the in between. This is your digestive tract actually. That means how the food travel. So this is your gullet. This is your large intestine. Okay, all these must be your fingertips, because there may be a case that they ask you, they just come out this way and then ask you to label it, and then like there's 2 marks, maybe I don't know how many marks. So you have to have this at your fingertips. You must know. This is the basic of digestive system topic. This is a small intestine. Okay. Okay. By the way, there's also anus here, which is where your waste come out. Okay, actually there's also rectum, but you don't need to know. It's not in primary school syllabus. Okay, so they ask you which part of the system produces digestive juice. Now, only 3 organs in your body produce digestive juice. Only 3 organs do digestion. Okay, these 3 organs are namely your mouth. Okay, the digestive juice in your mouth is known as your saliva. Okay, your stomach and your small intestine. Okay, so this is the start of the digestion, because this is where digestive juice is first found. So only digestive juice can perform digestion on the food. So since the mouth have digestive juice, right? So digestion starts in the mouth. Then the last one that do digestion is your small intestine. So this is where digestion ends. Okay, but after that there will still be some undigested food, right? So you still continue traveling along your digestive tract to your large intestine and to your anus. So it doesn't end at small intestine. The digestion ends at small intestine, but the food still comes out from your anus at the end. Okay, so as I have mentioned, the 3 circled ones, it's A, B, and D. So this one. Okay, so please know this. Only these 3 organs do digestion. Okay, the large intestine absorb water and minerals from the undigested food. Then after that, whatever is left that your body don't need, they will just come out from your anus. Okay, the next one. Okay, life cycle. Again, a P3 topic. Okay, the last topic of P3. Is egg larva. Okay, so this is a 4-stage life cycle insects. Okay, only insects have 4 stages. Okay, so toad is egg young adult, right? So toad is out. Okay, fish is also egg young adult, also out. So all this is 3 stages. Okay, so as I was telling you, must be um, 4 stages lah, and 4 stages is for insects. So these two are insects, right? Okay, butterfly and grasshopper. For grasshopper, it's also 3 stage, but grasshopper is not a young adult. Grasshopper, they are egg, nymph, and then adult, just like your cockroach. Okay, so butterfly is the answer. Okay, butterfly is the same, egg, larva, pupa, adult. So this is probably a life cycle. The one at the top, organism A is probably a life cycle of a housefly, of a fly. Okay, butterfly, mosquito, they also have a 4-stage life cycle. Okay, you should be very familiar with this. Okay, you should know what type of insect is 4-stage, what type of insect is 3-stage, because it come out quite often. Okay, a 3-stage again life cycle. 3-stage life cycle. This is a bird. Okay, which is a chicken. Definitely the egg is not laid in water. Okay, chicken lay eggs on land. The chick resembles the chicken, yes. The chick live on, definitely no, they live on land because they breathe with lungs. Chick has no feathers until reaches adult, definitely not. Okay, yes, feather even though when it is very young, just that the feather is shorter. Now, this one is very controversial. A lot of students, as in not controversial, a lot very confusing. A lot of students say, no, I don't think the chick looks like the chicken. Okay, now whether or not it look like is very subjective, I know. So how do you know? How do you agree or not agree whether or not it resembles? Very simple. To say that it resembles, that means it is believable. If I tell you, if you're in your entire life you have never seen a chicken before, and I tell you, hey, this is the young of this, you will believe me what? Because they looks the same, they have 2 legs and then they have wings. Okay, they even have beaks, so it is believable, although they don't really look very alike. As compared to if I tell you there's a butterfly and then I show you a caterpillar and you've never seen them before, I tell you the butterfly comes from the caterpillar, you will never believe me, because caterpillar don't have wings, it crawls. Okay, butterfly can fly, it's totally different, so it is not believable. So when you say resembles, it must be believable lah. Okay, so now we are talking about the life cycle of a butterfly. Okay, butterfly is 4-stage life cycle. Okay, just now I draw already, maybe I'll just draw again. Four stages, right? Okay, before I continue, maybe just a pop quiz. Which one of these stages is the start of a life cycle? I give you 5 seconds to think about it. Which one of these stages is the start of the life cycle? Give you 3 more seconds. Okay, the answer is none of it is the start of the life cycle, because life cycle, like the word cycle suggests, it is in a circular motion. In a life cycle, there's no start or end. You cannot say the egg is the start. You cannot say the adult is the start. There's no start, there's no end. Any stage can be the start, any stage can be the end. So there's no start or end in a life cycle. So remember this, don't get tricked during exam. Now let's go back to the question. So they tell you that it spends 5 days as a egg. Then it spends 14 days as a larva. Then after that, you spend 10 days as a pupa. Finally, it stays 21 days as an adult. after 21 days what happened? Okay, after 21 days, it don't wait for 21 days then it lay eggs. No, after 21 days it will die. Okay, so in between these 21 days it will lay eggs lah. How many eggs depends. Okay, so at what stage was the butterfly at day 21? Okay, now so we do a bit of math. So when it first laid the eggs, right, it is 5 days. Then after that you spend, so first 5 days totally 8, so haven't reached day 21 plus 14. Okay, so between day 5 to day 19 it is a larva. Then after day 19, so you haven't reached day 21, right? After day 19 all the way until 10 days later it is in a pupa stage. So until day 29 it is still in a pupa stage. So day 21 falls between here, right? Okay, so that means it is a pupa stage, so it's number 3. Okay, let's look at the next one. How many days does it take his butterfly egg to become a pupa? Okay, so simple math again. Okay, started as 5 days, then 14 days, right? So after 19 days, you will become a pupa. So it's number 3. Okay. Okay, this is again like the life cycle of a butterfly and a mosquito and a fly. Okay, a beetle also have the same 4-stage life cycle insect. So again, egg, larva, pupa, adult. Okay, now obviously when it's an egg, B is an egg, I just write down. This is B, C, D, and A. Okay, definitely when it's an egg, it doesn't feed. When it is in a pupa stage, it is inside the cocoon. It doesn't feed also. Okay, it's dormant. Dormant meaning just stay there, doesn't move. So when it's adult and larva stage, it will feed. Especially at the larva stage, it will feed non-stop. You keep eating and eating. But because when it becomes the pupa, it goes to the pupa stage, it cannot eat. So it must eat until it is very full when it is at the larva stage. So A and C are number 2. Question 11, right? They're asking you, when does a young plant become an adult? Okay, this is a bit hard because it is seldom mentioned, especially when you are P4. Usually, this will be discussed when you are P5, when you learn about reproduction in plants. Okay, so sorry, let me erase this. So when you are a human being, okay, when you reach puberty, when you are capable of reproducing, then you are considered young adult, right? So same for plants, when they are capable of reproducing, then they are considered adults as well. So it is when they start to have flower. Okay, when you go to P5, you learn that flower can fertilize the pollen, can go and fertilize the egg cell. These two is still very foreign to you lah, because you haven't learned this topic. But basically, flower can turn into fruits at this stage. So when you have flower, it is considered adult already. So number 2 is the answer. When the root starts growing, it's actually the first stage where the seed starts growing, germinating. So that is actually still a young. Okay, windows. Okay, if you are talking about window, definitely it has to be transparent. Otherwise you might as well just build a wall, right? Okay, so it needs to be allowed light to pass through so you can see through it. So flexibility is a key consideration. Okay, it must also be, because you want to see with the outside, it must also be able to block off wind. Okay, so it must be strong. Okay, these are all the characteristics of a glass. That's why our windows are made of glass. Okay, I don't think you want your window to be flexible. Otherwise, when the wind comes, it can swing inwards towards the house. Okay, next one. Question 13. That was materials, by the way, P3 topic. Again, life cycle. But this is life cycle of plants. Seedling, adult plant. Okay, so it must seedling. So start with seedling, adult plant. Let's see. Okay, seedling, this one, circular motion. Okay, so correct. number 3. Quite a simple question, huh? Not much of an explanation involved. Magnet, again P3 topic lah. Okay, this is an electromagnet. He wants to find out if the number of steels attracted by the nails will change. Okay, and they are made of different materials. Okay, now you need to remember that in order to turn into an electromagnet, the material that you use to magnetize, that means you use to turn into a temporary magnet, must already be a magnetic material. Okay, I mean there are a lot of metals in this world, so how I usually ask my students to remember is non-precious metal are usually magnetic material. Non-precious metal are usually metals that are cheap. That means in the past usually you don't use it to make money, because it doesn't make sense to use a magnetic material to make money, because if a magnetic material is still used to make money, it's very easy to steal them. You just have to have a very powerful magnet. You can go and steal from people. Okay, so usually in the past, that's why gold, silver, copper coin in China, bronze, okay, all these they are non-magnetic, so that's why they are used to make. One of the reasons why they are used is because they are non-magnetic, so that it's safer. Okay, so non-precious metal are not all this, so it's things like your most commonly in school what will be mentioned or tested is your iron and your steel. Also, they are magnetic materials. Okay, they are not used, usually they are not used to make money, so you can think of that as non-precious metal. Okay, which metal nail is made of a non-magnetic material? So as I've just mentioned to you, if it's a non-magnetic material, it cannot be magnetized. That means it cannot turn into a temporary electromagnet. That means if it cannot be magnetized, that means it don't become an electromagnet, right? So it cannot attract any steel clips. Okay, you must use steel clips or iron clips, because magnet can only attract magnetic material, and steel and iron are magnetic material. So it's a D lah, because it didn't manage to attract what? 0 ma. Okay. So I don't know if you still remember, there is actually a few ways you can test the strength of a magnet. That means how much magnetic force it has. Is it very strong or very weak? Another way is you can drop the magnet into a basket of pins, steel or iron pins. Okay, you take out the magnet and then you can see how many pins, go and count how many pins are attracted to the magnet. So if the more it attracts, that means the stronger it is. The other way is using distance, just like this one. Okay, so okay, they want you to arrange from the strongest to the weakest, right? A strong magnet, a powerful magnet, can attract magnetic material from very, very far. Okay, a strong one can attract from far. Then likewise, the weak one can only attract when it's very near. Okay, so if you look at the diagram, the one that can attract from the furthest is this one. Okay, at the distance of 5 cm. Okay, then the second one is this one, because it can attract from 4 cm. Okay, from 3 cm, and from 1 cm. Okay, so DBAC. DBAC number 4. Okay, that's all for today. Like I say, for my students, if you have a question that you still don't understand, please note it down. Then during the next lesson, I'll go through with you. Okay, thank you.